You have clicked a video with the word taxes in the title. Brave. Welcome to Caseback Watches. My name is Tim, and in this episode it's time for a little watch story written by reality. And I will tell you that story because I think we can learn two things here. And it started a few months ago. I was contacted by a good friend of mine, a lawyer, self-employed. He has his office next to my office, and he was on the phone in panic, basically, panic in his voice. And he said to me, the tax authorities contacted me and I have to pay in 1 week 36,000 euros to them. And those are roughly 40,000 US dollars. So not exactly a small amount of money. And I asked, do you have that money? And he said, no. And now you can say, what an idiot, what an idiot. I mean, if you're self-employed, then you have to keep your financial affairs in order. You have to build up a reserve to pay your taxes. Everybody has to pay taxes. The problem in Germany is the tax system here is beyond craziness. I mean, it's legible and easy like a black hole or a foreign galaxy. And it's no way through it without a consultant, without a professional tax consultant. As a private person here, you need a tax consultant to make your declarations. Even my small jazz band has its own tax accountant. And he charges 600 euros for every declaration. Yeah, no way around it. And so I asked my friend, how can I help you? And he said to me, yeah, I don't have the cash, but I have some watches and I want you to sell the watches in 1 week. And then he showed up at the office with a suitcase, like in the movies, and he said to me, those are my timepieces, please sell them in 1 week. And I accepted because I thought, I can learn pretty much here. I can wear the pieces and yeah, and I can use content for my channel, of course. Back then my channel was only a few weeks old, but I had the idea, well, you can make something out of that. So I accepted, and then I figured out the prices. Very simple, I checked Chrono24, I made a deeper research on Chrono24, and I compared the Chrono prices to the prices on forums. Because often Chrono24 prices are the wet dreams of sellers. They are not realistic and they don't lead to transactions. And so sometimes you find the realistic prices in the forums, on the forum. And then I set my prices 2 or 3% under the market price because I was under pressure 1 week. And I started with an AP, Audemars Piguet, Royal Oak Offshore Day Date. And the the watch was with box and papers and freshly serviced, and so watch without any risk. And I wore the piece, I think, 1 day, and I thought, what an ugly watch. Very sorry, very sorry if you love your AP, but by the way, I'm wearing a Regulateur, Chrono Swiss. But I said, this is not my watch. It looks like a battleship on the wrist, and I don't want any battleship on my wrist, and so it's not for me. And then I thought, well, this will be not so easy to sell, but it was. It was on the forum for 1 day, and then the first offers came in, and I had to negotiate very hard, very, very hard. Nobody wanted to pay the first price, and so the lawyer lost a little bit of money. And then we reached to an agreement, and the buyer took the next flight to Hamburg, and we met the lawyer in person, and he paid cash at the bank. So they could put the money in the bank account, and the bank could check if everything's legit there. And it was, and everybody was happy with that deal. Very, very simple deal with a very ugly watch, I must say. And the next watch was a Rolex Datejust, vintage Rolex Datejust. And I said, you know what, I buy it. I buy it for myself. And now you may ask why, because I already have a Datejust with the same reference. But I thought it's a good watch, and I thought it's a good opportunity to make a nice video on Caseback watches with those 2 watches. And I've done that, and the link is over there, how to buy a vintage Rolex Datejust. And later on I've sold the watch on my own account, and I made a small profit with it, and it was pretty easy to sell that watch, pretty easy. Next watch, Rolex Daytona, and on the wrist, yeah, nice watch, pleasure to wear, interesting. But I wasn't so excited, I must say. Maybe I have seen too much Daytonas or too much images, and so I think I can draw a dial of a Daytona by memory. And then I thought, well, let's not sell everything in forums. There's too much watches and too much money in this particular forum. And so I've decided to sell the Daytona on Chrono 24. 20 minutes later, 20 minutes after the listing was live, I received the first offers. Crazy. And now you may ask, well, then your price was too low. And no, it wasn't. The watch was without box and papers, without a fresh service. And there were other watches on Chrono 24, and my price really was a smidgen under them, but it was enough. 2% under the market price is enough to attract lots of Rolex collectors. But they all wanted to negotiate. And I was in the lucky position, of course, then with 5 or 6 requests to say, no, this is the price. You have to pay the price, otherwise I will sell the watch to another guy. And then I had an agreement with an entrepreneur from southern Germany, and he took the next plane. New experience for me, by the way, that people are willing to take planes to pick up their watch, which is really convenient. And then he arrived in Hamburg, and we met together, we three together in a conference room, and then he was a real bitch. Oh my God. He checked every screw basically, and he checked the number of the clasp, fits the number, the bracelet, fits the bracelet, the year of manufacture of the watch, is a reference number and serial number, is everything legit. And of course it was perfectly reasonable to do this because he wanted to pay cash. There was this pile of money on the table, and of course then you check everything. And he gave me a wonderful website. It's called Oyster Info. It's in German and in English, and there are charts available with every number you need if you want to buy a Rolex from a private seller. Okay, with Oyster Info you can check the serial number, the clasp number, the bracelet number. You can check every detail. So very valuable source for Rolex. Big recommendation. Then at the end he said, "Oh, my father-in-law will love that watch." And I said, "What? It's for your father-in-law? Oh, that's a very generous gift." And he said, "Not exactly. My father-in-law has those nice apartments, bank of the Bodensee. Bodensee is a very famous lake in southern Germany, very posh, very pricey." And he said, "I want those apartments, and so I have to make those gifts to my father-in-law." And I thought again, what a bitch. And with that watch, we earned a lot of money because the lawyer had bought that watch in, I think, 2010 or 2012. And those were different prices back then. So he earned, I think, several thousand euros on that particular watch. So very convenient. And after that deal, the job was done. Little edit here to prevent misunderstandings. The watches didn't bring in the entire 36,000 euros, but the amount of money was substantial, and it helped to, let's say, smoothen the panic a little bit. And after that, my friend felt confident again. And we were still with the last watch, Zenith El Primero, one of my favorite watches. Nobody wanted to buy it, and it's not the normal Zenith El Primero. It's the version with the date and the day and the month and a moon phase, gorgeous case, with the box without papers, from 2001. And we started at, I think, 3,900, no way, and then 3,700, no way. Now we're down to 3,500, no way. And I think the correct market price for that piece is 3,200. And I think people are afraid of service. Maybe there's a service in need. The watch is from 2001. Service will set you back 1,000 euros, and then the price for the entire ensemble would be 4,200. And I think this is a really good price. I mean, is this the better watch compared to the Daytona? Of course is this the better watch. And the retail price back then, 2001, was something like 12,000 euros. That's really big money, and now we're down to 3,200. I mean, this is painful, but I think it's a gorgeous watch. This watch with a fresh service is the watch, in my humble opinion. Okay, those were the watches I've sold for the lawyer, for my friend, and yeah, what can we learn here? 1, watches are a bad investment, yes, but they can be a good last reserve. I mean, there's a reason why pimps wear heavy hitters. We have a huge red light district in this town, and here you can really see those figures with the fancy cars and the attire you connect with the red light district. And they have their heavy hitters on the wrist, and of course they want to show off, they want to show you their wealth, but at the same time, sometimes they have to leave the country pretty quick, and then it's handy if you have several thousand euros on your wrist. You can go to the pawn shop and then to the airport. Very simple, okay? And by the way, lawyers do the same thing, but I don't want to, of course, I don't want to compare lawyers with pimps. This was a stupid joke. Second, a crown is good as cash. That's true. Or let's say certain Rolex models are cash in the bank. It's really true. I thought it was some sort of cliche or myth, but it's really true. A Daytona is an ATM. Basically, you put the watch in the slot and then you can pull out your cash. So very nice experience, I must say. Good reason to buy Rolex. Okay, we're close to the end of this video. Two small announcements. The book is given away. Very sorry, I received a lot of emails from the last video, Longines, The Dishonest Sellers, and there I have recommended the book Cinemaps, and I given one copy for free. Goes to Diego. He lives in Barcelona. Diego, you will love that book. Second announcement, The Dishonest Seller is back. I wrote him several emails and he didn't respond to any single word I've written, and then I threatened him with a lawyer, and of course this works. And now he said, I was abroad 1 week and now I'm back, and please send me the watch and then I will refund you. And I will do that, and I will film everything. The parcel, how I pack the parcel, how I close the parcel, how I go to the post office, how I get my stamp and everything. So yeah, I don't want to have any bad surprises here. And I'm pretty sure that this will work out, but I'll keep you informed. Okay, that's all for today. If you find my videos helpful, then please consider subscribing. It's a great help for me, it's encouraging. And now let me thank you very much for your attention, and maybe until next time.